My question to you today is this: how important is your privacy to you? Is it valuable? Do you even think about it or consider it? Privacy? You ever go to the bathroom and you shut the door in your home, even when you're in a public facility? You like your privacy, right? You don't want the world peeping in on you, just from a physical standpoint, right? You want to be in there alone for the most part. Would you agree? Now, if you was risque and just didn't care, you leave the door open and anybody could come in. But I think there's something innate about that privacy thing that we all pretty much sort of cling to. It makes you feel safe and secure just being private in your own space. But that translates to everything, virtually, the privacy aspect. You ever notice here in the world in which we live that there's cameras everywhere now, virtually? Virtually everybody has also a cell phone with a camera. Everyone's walking around click, 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 clicking, taking pictures, taking selfies, and taking pictures of other people, even doing videos of people engaged in behavior that they shouldn't be engaged in. You see it on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, and various other platforms and so forth. But is that too much invasion in your privacy? Where there's cameras everywhere. You go, I understand on some level, as far as the security of a building, or security of a property, or security of property inside of a business establishment. You know, a retail store such as mine. I have cameras. I have friends who have cameras in their businesses as well. Why? You want to make sure that you don't have a loss in terms of merchandise, or you can minimize the loss. We call it shrinkage, if you will, in the retail business oftentimes. Walmart has cameras. Gas stations have cameras, to protect the customers and their business. But can we go too far with the privacy thing? Nowadays, it seems like everywhere you turn there's a camera. And what about the information that people are asking of you online when you sign up for particular programs, when you want to go online and buy something, and when you want to access your bank account online? They ask you these questions about what was your best friend in childhood's name, for example, as a security thing. They say, oh, what was the name of your first pet? What's your grandmother's last name? Why are they asking all of these questions, and is it really necessary? But they're doing it for the sake of your protection, right? Do you give people your social security number just freely? Even when you call the bank oftentimes to check a balance on the phone, they say, can we have the last four of your social security just for security purposes? Don't they already have your social security number? Oh, does it make me feel any better that you don't ask me for the whole social security number versus the last four? Isn't someone always watching? Isn't someone always listening on the phone? Phones turn themselves on sometimes. Have you ever experienced that? And if you have an Alexa in your home device, in your home, and you say, Alexa, turn the music on. Alexa, turn the heat up. Turn the air conditioner on. Alexa, turn the lights down. Isn't Alexa always on? I mean, who's controlling Alexa? That's still your that's still your privacy. So what I'm saying is someone is behind the curtain, ladies and gentlemen, always listening, even when you don't think they are, even when you think it's for your protection. But at what expense? It's the expense of your private information, your privacy. And when you talk on the phone, do you think no one else can hear you on the phone? And when you think you are on the internet, surfing the web, do you think they don't know who you are and where you're located? There's something called an IP address. International protocol, I believe they call it also. It's an IP address. It's an address that lets them know who is assigned to that particular computer. And if you have a Google account, or maybe a Bing account, or a Yahoo account, they have information on you as well. They know what computer you're using. They know your name. They know personal information about you, your age, where you were born, what city, what state, what address. Because you're always keying in information. In an attempt, really unbeknownst to you, you're thinking like, I'm trying to get something that's going to benefit me. But who is that second, third party that's collecting information on the back end? Have you ever thought about that? Seriously, be very careful, ladies and gentlemen, who you give your information to. And let me tell you, once you've already given your information to someone or to an organization, a company, a corporation, it's out there. It's already gone and you forgot about it. It's in the annals of your mind and you'll never recall that anymore. They already have the information. They've been accumulating this information, in fact, for a long, long time, many years, on you. Give you an example. I remember once or twice I went to a hospital that was not a hospital that I had been to before. And I'm standing there with the receptionist and she's taking my information. And I gave her a couple pieces of information. And she said, "Do you still live at this address?" And it was one of my old addresses. And she had in the computer, or they had in the computer, more than one of my addresses. She said, "Should I delete this one?" How did they get my information? From another hospital that I had visited years before. How do you know this stuff? So what I'm saying in essence is this. Big Brother's always watching us. Who is Big Brother? And why do they need all of this information? And why must they have all of this information on us? Why do you need to know where I live? Everything that I fill out virtually. Why do you need to know about my family, who they are, and how many people are in my home when you're doing a census on your state, city, what have you, your community? Why do you need to know all of the information? But you say it's for the benefit for the whole. Is it really? Or is it just you prying? Or is it that you just want to control my movements and your movements and our movements so that you can always keep track of us just in case you want to come and see about us and find us, maybe even lock us up? Who is us? You know I'm going to play the black card right now. It's primarily black folks, but it's everybody. It's white folks, it's Asian folks. And then they have you separated by zip code. The poor community is this zip code. The affluent community is this zip code. And everybody else in between are these zip codes. We're being watched and we're being controlled. But how much control do you? How much control do we have over our own privacy? Ask yourself this question and be careful how you step from this day forward. Brother Teacher.